Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Mez flowing here on this Monday. What is going on, Clinton Nation? Happy Monday to you all. It's not a Modelo Monday. It's a Seaborn Margarita Monday, whatever that is. But this is a show that's part of the Believe Network podcast. And yeah, on today, you guys see the things. We're talking about Corbin Burnes. Apparently, there's maybe a chance he'll take a deal that sounds very Dodger friendly. And we'll also talk a little bit of Teoscar Hernàndez, the latest there. Already talked about that on Dodgers territory, but we'll just keep on praying, keep on crossing our fingers. The big question I also have today is the Dodgers starting rotation good enough as is? Plus some like Gavin Lux talk, other general Dodgers news, and more on another edition of All Dodgers Live. And we'll do this and we'll do that. And it's just me. It's just us today, guys. So I hope you're ready to hang out and have a little bit of a party. We got voicemails as well, and we count you guys as part of the show here. But do sound off in the comments. Let me know where you're representing your Dodgers fandom tonight on this Monday. Let me know how badly you want Teoscar Hernàndez back. Let me know your thoughts about this Corbin Burnes thing that we're going to get into in just a second. I am Clint Pasillas. Find me as Real FRG on the social media platforms. I'm a longtime baseball writer, a sports editor. I've been doing this Dodger talk stuff here on the internet for quite some time now. And now I do it on my own channel. Hopefully you guys consider hitting that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, we're trying to get to 9,000 subscribers. Ideally, we do that before the beginning of the new year. And like the video, that also helps us out in the algorithm. But Kevin Uhas in the chat, I see that was the first one I see. It says, sign the Hernandez twins. We want Teo. We want Kike back. I'm all in on that. Give me those two before Corbin Burnes, maybe, question mark. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And again, we will dive into that. Coach Charlie is checking in from San Jose, California. Appreciate you hanging out with us, Coach. Kenneth Hall, signed Teo. John Kazi in the chat. Cozy in the chat saying, hey, Clint, how you doing, John? Good to see you in here. Mr. Classic, BBACS. I don't know what that is, but I agree unless I'm not supposed to. Diane in the chat. Joe Mama in the chat. Richie Flores in the chat. Stuck in traffic in the 210. It's not quite the 215 freeway. Calvin the Goat in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Yeah, player in the chat. My guy, I be stroking. Hey, we got a fun night ahead of us. Matty Man 5 Dodge. Does Corbin Burnes make sense? That is a great question. Now, before we dive into that, I do want to I guess point out what we did yesterday, or talk a little bit about the All Dodgers meetup. I don't know what an All D'd up is, but we had another one of our mini Discord meetups. Had some brunch yesterday. Nice little group of us met up for drinks and brunch on Sunday. Nice time shooting the shit with some great fans, longtime fans of the channel, and just talking Dodger baseball, talking Teo. Of course, Richie Flores was there wearing his Teoscar Hernàndez jersey, hoping that it would bring him home. But shooting the shit again with great peeps that join us here on these chats, but also in the Discord server, the Discord chat. So I did want to give some special shout outs. One, I be stroking, throwing a couple old fashions my way, old fashions, the drink, not the other one, but a couple drinks my way, tossing them back with I be stroking. We got to talk about some love for Lucky Nick, aka Bob Nightingale, in the chat here for being rude to me by being nice and sending me back what I sent him for our meal on Zelle, because he's a kick-ass dude. Guys, give a thumbs up in the video for Bob Nightingale in the chat being just a good person. Diane, of course, being awesome, helping facilitate the whole thing, even while being in Cabo. She helped set things up. So if you guys want to be a part of the next Discord meetup, check it out. You have to sign up on Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg, or click join here on YouTube to join our YouTube members. All the details are there on those pages, but it's $5 a month, and you get a lot of cool perks for some. I mean, a lot of people believe a lot of folks enjoy what you get out of it, which is Discord and community and all that kind of stuff. But let's dive into what we're here for. Corbin Burnes talk, guys. According to Ken Rosenthal, free agent ace Corbin Burnes could could be open to a short-term high AAV deal, also known as the Andrew Friedman special. Right off the bat, and he said this, Ken Rosenthal today said this on Fair Territory. Right off the bat, yeah, you see this, and maybe it's something in like a 3-year, $45 million a year range, which again, now we're talking about absurd gobs of money for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Like, how would that look financially? I didn't look up, because it's just me today. I didn't look up a lot of numbers. I didn't want to stumble over numbers. I just really want to talk and react to this whole thing with everybody here. But Corbin Burnes, adding that to the rotation, another Cy Young Award winner, put a tiny asterisk next to it because of, him deciding to not pitch on that final day in 2021. But you add another Cy Young Award winner to that rotation, you're basically bulletproof. I probably shouldn't say that, because we thought the Dodgers had a pretty damn good starting rotation in 2024, but I don't know. I really want to know how people in the chat feel about this, because I am mixed. I really am mixed about whether I would also want to see this team add Corbin Burnes. Like, honestly, if they have enough innings and starts for Corbin Burnes, I think I would rather see Walker Buehler return and see what you get out of that, instead of paying a butt ton of money and adding probably more deferrals and another massive signing bonus and all of this. I think they have some opportunity to get things done with some of the people they have in-house, and we will talk about that in just a little bit as well, talking about, are they good enough with some of the pitching they already have, some of the starting pitching, so we will dive into that shortly. I do want to see what people have to say. Mr. Classic says, that's redonkulous, those four. Now, there's more than just four, because it would be Shohei Ohtani, it would be Tyler Glasnow, it would be Corbin Burnes, and it would also be Blake Snell. Don't forget, they signed Blake Snell. Wait, there's another guy missing. Oh, yeah, that's right, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's a pretty goddamn good starting five. And then beyond that, Clayton Kershaw will eventually be back. Tony Gonsolin going to be in the mix. Dustin May likely moved to the bullpen. But again, we'll talk more about this in just a little bit. As you guys know, I'm going to talk more about something that isn't immediately baseball, but it's important for the show. I got to tell you about Bet Online. Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, it's got it all. Bet Online. Head to the website today. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online. The game starts here. Back into the chat here, as Orlando says we need a righty bat. Yeah, Corbin Burnes, actually, I think Corbin Burnes hits lefty too, which is funny. I want to double check that, because I'm pretty sure I remember him cranking a homer left-handed. Am I wrong? I'm wrong. I am wrong. Might have been Brandon Woodruff from there. Derek Tarvin wants to see Corbin Burnes come to the Dodgers. I mean, you can't go wrong adding Corbin Burnes to the Dodgers, but at some point, how much is too much? And if you still want to see this team bring back Teoscar Hernandez, and the holdup right now is most likely money and years, because a year equals money in some way, shape, or form. I'd rather see them start to fill out that lineup a little bit more than just add yet another pitcher. That's my take on it. That's my initial gut feeling. Like, I saw this and I didn't really want to think too much about it until we were here, because sometimes I really enjoy just being on here, talking myself in circles and either into and out of the idea. But to the question, to the title of this video, of this live stream, is, this latest Corbin Burnes update great news for the Dodgers? Yeah, because if he is open to this, and this is the type of deal that Blake Snell signed with the Giants last year, it could be something where it's 1 year, ultimately ends up being 1 year. Now, if you can guarantee 1 year and $45 or $50 million, you're in a really, really good spot. And that's where now we talk about that. As MM says in the chat, can never have enough starting pitching. Sounded like my friend Tim Rogers. that's where you start to feel really, really good about the idea of letting Corbin Burnes do what Blake Snell did. Sign a deal, make a good amount of money, pitch. Corbin Burnes doesn't need to reestablish his market or whatever. He had a very good year with the Orioles last year. I think some teams might want to see more strikeout, more punch out of him. That has been something that, you talk to people, you talk more about it. You look at the Baseball Reference page. Some folks not a fan of the strikeout stuff, kind of declining from its heyday. It's slowly petered out, but there's also just been a change in mentality and whether or not teams want him to go for the strikeout rather than stay in a game longer, go for ground balls, pitch to contact, all of that kind of stuff. But I seen somebody else, Carlos, bringing up Roki, get Teo, get Tanner Scott. In that case, if we're talking about Corbin Burnes money and being tethered, being tied to him, and I said I had a marg and I haven't opened it yet. That's very rude of me. I apologize to the marg. I would rather see Teoscar and Tanner Scott, and let's also please throw in Kike Hernandez. Again, very weird for me to be very much advocating for Kike Hernandez, but get me those guys instead of the one Corbin Burnes, because at some point, again, the Dodgers do need to run out of money, or they need to probably stop spending money. I think you can spend it now, and they probably need to get a little bit smarter 5 years down the road, but we'll approach that when we get there. If you can maximize this time, and now we're doing the circle thing where we're talking myself even more into it, why not Roki and Tanner and Teo and Burnes, oh my, because you guarantee, you can never guarantee yourself, but you are giving yourself that best opportunity to hopefully run it back. You haven't seen World Series winners 2 years in a row since 1999, 2000, the Yankees. It has been a long time. Gary Sharma in the chat saying, I don't think that rumor is true. So let's step back for a second. Let's grain of salt this. This was Ken Rosenthal today on his Fair Territory podcast. The numbers were, kind of that's speculation if we're talking about 3 years or 1 year. But the idea was Ken Rosenthal saying he believes that this is something Corbin Burnes and his market, his agent, could explore. I still do put a grain of salt on it, because you can have the other. Oh, okay, sorry. Somebody talking about Corey Seager, other things. Sorry, there's a lot going on in the chat. I'll try to catch up in the chat. I apologize, guys. But I forgot where I was at. But Corbin Burnes, a lot of money, and this is his one time. Maybe not his one time, but this is a time where you need to go out there, and you saw Max Fried get this 8-year mega deal. There's no reason Corbin Burnes can't get that. And Corbin Burnes, we talked about it on Thursday, I think, the idea of him signing with the San Francisco Giants. I saw somebody in the chat saying, I would hate to see him or sign him to keep him away from the Giants. But listen, keep the Giants good. If the Giants are good, the Dodgers are going to be good. The Padres might be selling off a little bit too. Do what you can to make your team good, stay good, be better, all of that kind of stuff. But I opened it, and now it's time to actually drink it. David Mendez in the chat. What about the Dodgers getting Walker Buehler? Back to a point I just made a little bit ago. I would rather see them bring back Buehler and, Teoscar, Kike, maybe throw in a Tanner Scott, even though I think Tanner Scott's going to be a pretty high dollar guy. He could get somewhere like, Kenley Jansen money or something. I don't know exactly. His market has felt pretty dang quiet, but Buehler, he's proven. He's been here, done that, and I'm very intrigued. Either way, I'm intrigued to see, this second career of what Walker Buehler looks like, the second phase of his career, learning how to pitch differently, learning how to, be a problem now on the mound, as he drunkenly said it to Mookie Betts and the rest of the dogs out there in the bullpen. I would be interested in seeing that, because with Walker, I think he would understand his role more than like a Corbin Burnes, where if he's one of 5 ace level pitchers, Again, this is where it comes back to me, man, or where it comes back to this for me, man. It's there's too many. At some point, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and if you have Snell, Burnes, Yamamoto, Ohtani, and also Glasnow in there, who they put in the ace category, it's a lot. There is a lot of folks there, but I don't know. I don't know if we gained anything out of talking about this so far. It's something that I think the Dodgers could or should explore, but to a point, to a degree, like 3 years at the 45 a year. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's fair. Maybe they do some sort of like Bauer-like contract, and hopefully this one doesn't bite him in the ass. But I think whatever it turns out to be, would not be in Corbin Burnes' best interest. So to pin this for a second, and we'll bring it back up when we talk starting pitching a little bit later. I think it's not in his best interest to take a short-term deal right now, because he's still going to get money, and you get the longer security. What happens if he gets hurt? Like, be safe, take the money, take the long amount of years. Gary in the chat, Gary Sharma saying Burnes is getting 8 or 9 years. I think it could 7 at the shortest amount of time would be 7 years right there. Calvin the GOAT wants the team to focus on Roki Sasaki. We know those conversations could be happening right now with the team, because Sasaki is posted. He's talking to different teams. We can't have an official agreement until after January, 15th, I believe. So to wait another month, I get a little bit worried if we're talking. I don't know. I mean, Sasaki, I'm happy to wait to start going down the Sasaki bridge again, talking about Roki again when we get closer to it. I think it will be. I mean, everybody says it. I've been saying it all offseason. It'll come down to the Dodgers and the Padres. If you held a gun to my head right now, I would probably slightly lean like 51-49, him going to the Padres. Hopefully I'm wrong. I very much want to be wrong. Let's move on a little bit. I feel bad. I don't want to leave a bunch of chat laying around here, because you guys are killing it in the chat. Ken Warm saying a little bit earlier, Dustin May could be the future closer if he stays healthy. Yeah, Dusty May, as we'll call him, in a closer role, in a late inning relief role, with and just telling him, go out there, throw your 2 nastiest pitches, throw them over again. We know he can handle that role. Maybe he doesn't get the strikeout. Maybe it's going to be something similar to we see out of Brusdar Graterol, a lot of soft contact, some fly balls or whatever. But if he gets outs, and he gets outs late in the game, I'm cool. I don't care. I don't need to see punch. But maybe Dustin May gets better at the back end of a ball game, knowing let it eat for 1 inning, maybe 2 innings, and hit the showers. But we should shift to Teoscar, because we already talked about a bunch around Teo. We're still waiting for Teoscar. He remains a free agent right now. Dave Roberts over the weekend telling Alicia Del Valle over at the Bleed Los podcast, part of the Dodgers Beat Network, saying, quote, he feels that they're close. We're close. The Dodgers and Teoscar, they're close to presumably a reunion. Now, if Dave is saying no, we're close, we're tight, we're homies, then everybody's a lot less happy about him saying we're close. But it's more so Dave saying, yeah, we're close to getting something done. He told fans, say your prayers. Everybody say your hail Teos, 9 hail Teos a night, 37 hail Teos a night until he returns. But yeah, we're still waiting to figure out what the hell is going on with this. What the hang up is in these negotiations. You've heard different versions of things. I know my boy D-Mac talked about there being a myriad of issues, whether it comes to deferrals, AAV, so the factors and AAV would play into that deferrals. I've heard that years, I think it's more likely a year, not years, when it comes to a Dodgers deal. That could also be a hang up in it. I said this earlier on Dodgers territory, and I'll say I have zero inside information. I don't ever care to be some sort of newsbreaker or talk to people about getting inside news. And if I do, or people tell me, I'm probably not going to tell you guys. This is not my brand. I don't care about that. So this is just me talking, speculating. I think we're hung up on 1 year and a total amount of money, probably, $2 or $3 million a year at most, separating them, because listen, the dude's not going to take a discount from the $23 million he signed for last year. My assumption was he was going to be in the market somewhere around 27. I think, per year, that's the AAV. Maybe some teams might, look at not going over 25. Still also a very good $25 million player. I don't go to 30 though. I don't think I can go to 30. And I feel right now, too, you're seeing some moves happen. The Kyle Tucker move. Kyle Tucker traded to the Cubs. The Cubs looking to trade Cody Bellinger, most likely to the Yankees. Teoscar's losing pathways to playing time. If it's Boston, well, you're going for the money. If it's Toronto, you're going for the money. I don't think the Yankees are in on him because they're going to be in on Cody Bellinger. So maybe Teo kind of played his market a little bit wrong, waiting as long as he did for Soto. I still believe something will come together. Something will and should come together. My gut is telling me that it's just 1 year that's separating everything. He probably wants that extra year. Whether it's Dodgers at 3 and him at 4, or him trying to get to 5. And I know some people really, really balk at the idea of a 5th year for Teoscar Hernandez. I'm okay with it. I'm really okay with it because he helps your team now, next year, and in 2027. And then after that, you could figure it out, or you can move him. Like we saw the Dodgers do that with AJ Pollock a couple of years ago, where they signed him to a 4-year deal and then moved off of him. But just don't let 1 year. I say don't let 1 year be, as William Andrews says, let Friedman cook. And I believe in that as well. We believe in Andrew Friedman, but I would hate to see the Dodgers be unwilling to go that extra year. And then see Teo succeed elsewhere for the next 5 or 6 years instead of the next 3 or 4 or 5 in LA. That would bother me if they let 1 year be the difference. That definitely would bother me. Let's get to what people should say, or people are saying. Gary Sharma in the chat. Appreciate Gary being active in the chat. Teo should be 3 years and 82. I think my initial guesstimation was something like that. I had like 3 and 80 or 3 and 81, which very fair deal. That's an extremely fair deal. He bet on himself. He's getting a lot of money. He's getting security of multiple years, and then have there be a 4th year option. Maybe that option year, has some sort of, not deferrals, but would have what's the word I'm looking for? Incentives into it, or it's just cheaper, or you backload the deal, or however the hell it works. EB, great fucking point. They let Justin Turner walk because of that extra year he wanted. It's a great point. However, at that point, like, they were kind of looking for a reason to be away from, to get out of under the JT era. Nothing against JT, but he was a little old. Breaking news. He was on the elderly side, just turned 40 now, and I think his best days of third base were very much behind him. He wasn't going to play first base. He's not terribly good at first base. He's not going to play a lot of, he's not going to be much better at second base, where you need to have more range. So, they did let 1 year come between them and a JT reunion, but they didn't need Justin Turner for 2 years at that point. They needed him for, honestly, they didn't need him anymore, and that became apparent. But let's bring back Teo. I guess that's the last thing we should say. No, he was. Cole says he was 35 or 36. I think he was 37 at that point, or is he? He was Boston. Yeah, he's been gone now 2 full seasons, so maybe he was 36. Yeah, it was like 36, 37. But words. That's all I got. Nando390 says it was time to move on from Justin Turner, just like it's time to move on from Clayton Kershaw. Bold take. Let's do let's do this. I'm going to crank this up, and I'm going to do both the clap and a boo because you're going to get both sides of people agreeing with you. Aaron Vaughn saying, I'm glad this kid Clint is not the GM. And I never said I'm the GM, but I'd be pretty good at it, to be honest. Let me know why you don't think I'd be a good GM. Is it because I'm drinking on the job? Fair. Real C note. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to the Clayton Kershaw thing. I'm interested in seeing Clayton Kershaw for one more year and being healthy again. You know, he had the shoulder thing. That was fixed. And then the knee and the foot were issues. Now he's getting the knee and the foot fixed. He doesn't need to be a guy that gets you 24 or 27 or even 33 starts anymore. He needs to get you 15 really, really good starts or, 20 pretty dang good starts and be an option to start a postseason game if there's other people injured. That said, and this is one of the reasons why I think it's hard to imagine Corbin Burnes. It's hard to imagine Walker Buehler returning. Flash forward to October. If Ohtani is healthy, Yamamoto's healthy, Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow are healthy, those guys are starting games 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you don't need a fourth starter every series. At some point, this is a team, and we all should be looking the same way the team looks. This is a team that looks. This is a front office that looks at the postseason. They care about the postseason. Where are these people going to get their innings? Where are these starters? Where is Kershaw going to get his innings? I think Kersh is coming back and kind of chasing some numbers, knowing he doesn't need to be like the guy. I think this is the right time for Kershaw to come back for one more and then maybe hang it up. Kenneth Hall, great question. Do we know Kershaw will pitch at all next year? Great question. Tough to say. Probably, because it's not arm, it's not elbow, it's knee and foot. So you would assume he's going to come back from that. Of course, Austin Barnes told us a couple weeks ago on Dodgers territory, his foot looks pretty nasty. It looks disgusting. Nando 390 saying Kershaw eats up a 40-man roster spot. That's also a thing. I feel more confident about the upcoming 40-man roster. I think it won't be a big problem until May, June, because they will have some dudes they can put on the 60-man, the 60-day IL and buy themselves some extra spots. Gary Sharma saying, I don't mind Kershaw in the regular season, but he can't pitch in the playoffs anymore. And I think that's fair. Like, that's fair, unless he really, really earns it. But he's not a Game 1 starter, might not be a Game 4 starter in a postseason series. That's what we'll say about that. I wanted to touch on, just for me, and for all of us, because I have a question here for the chat. We saw last week, I think it was Friday, Devin Williams traded to the Yankees. Of course, the Dodgers were reportedly in on Devin Williams. I forget what the trade was, what they sent back. Yankees didn't feel like they sent a whole lot. Dodgers have a lot of talent capital they could move in a deal. Gavin Lux, there was a rumor he was involved in some machinations of the deal, some iterations of the deal. This is the question. Like, what do you guys think? Two questions, actually. What do you guys think the Gavin Lux plan should be? And I'll throw in a third. Would you guys rather see the Dodgers trade Lux or trade CT3 this offseason? That's a lot for you guys to play with there in the chat there. But if we're talking about, like, what is the Gavin Lux plan? Because they told us, they very much telegraphed that they don't believe in him at shortstop because they're putting Mookie there, which, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with them not entering the year. I was trying to, at some point, trying to sell myself into giving Gavin Lux a try again at shortstop. And I think they should at some point, because his best value as a big leaguer will be playing shortstop, not limited to second base. He's no Jose Altuve. But is the plan a full-time 2B for the team this year? Because if so, I worry. I don't know that maximizes the playing time for everybody, even if it's in a platoon. I don't know that maximizes the playing time for everybody. If you are still going to have both Lux and Chris Taylor, taking away from my question of which of those guys would you rather see traded. If they do have them both, it opens an opportunity for Gavin Lux and Chris Taylor to get some time at second base. I'd like to see Kike Hernandez return, maybe get some left field, maybe get some center field, maybe get some second base in there. Tommy Edman as well, center field, second base. Could have a really, really good tandem up the middle there, potentially with Mookie and Tommy Edman. Is Gavin Lux, would they try to make him a utility guy? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen that. We've seen him try to play some third base, try to play some short. He's done that okay at different points in the past. We've seen him try to play the outfield. Did not work for my dude. Did not have a lot of time to build up and get good at a lot of those other spots, but we've seen it. I don't think that utility is in his future, especially not as a Los Angeles Dodger. It feels like there's really two paths for me. I see the Gavin Lux plan being either in a platoon role or as a trade chip. And if we're hearing that there have been conversations with the Brewers, potentially there have been conversations. Again, these rumors, very unsubstantiated. Nobody of importance has said anything about them, whether it be a Passan, a Ken Rosenthal, hell, even a Bob Nightingale, anybody with MLB insider clout. There have been people who say something about it, who in the past have gotten in trouble for, tweeting about things with very little or inaccurate information. So I'm curious. The Dodgers are actually, or did actually shop Gavin Lux. But again, I'm interested in knowing what folks have to say about Lux. Drew Durr says Lux offers very little optionality. Great use of the word. I'm going to give you a coin for that one. But if he hits at second and stays healthy, that'll be great. Yeah, I mean, if it's hitting at second, he's going to be low in the lineup, hitting 7th, 8th, 9th or something like that. And I said this earlier on Dodgers territory, like when he's right, we've seen him hit well. And I've said it a few times on this channel as well. When he's right in the head, we saw him go on a run. He can go on a run. I wouldn't say he could put a team on his back, but he can carry. He could be absolutely, one of the furthest things away from a problem, going 1 through 9 in an order. But the limitation to second base, that's where I'm okay with Lux being around. He's my boy now, I decided. But I don't know that his best spot, again, I'll say it again, I don't know if his best spot's here in LA. I don't know that a platoon role is best for him long term in his career. Utility is not the answer. It could be something where, again, going elsewhere could help him. Like I'm saying with Walker Buehler, going somewhere elsewhere could help his potential financial earnings. Somebody like Brent Honeywell just popped into my head. I'm happy he's not back in LA because I think he can go and get some money somewhere else. Even if he is a dud, he would at least get some money, for a little bit, like upfront cash there. But if Gavin Lux was a holdup in a Devin Williams deal, I would also, like I said with Teo, I would have some issues. I would be very concerned as to, all right, if the Dodgers are buying this much into Gavin Lux, what is the long-term plan? Like, they have to have some sort of long-term plan, and that can't be, oh yeah, you're going to play second base mostly against right-handed pitching. That can't be good enough, in my opinion there. Yang Yi says, I am assuming Dodgers will try Lux at shortstop during spring training. That I agree with, and I think it's the right call to do. Hopefully right now he will be working out wherever the team is working out. Obviously, they're not working out at Dodger Stadium because they're doing a massive renovation there. So wherever he's working out, I'm assuming that he's definitely taking a lot of ground balls and making some throws, more importantly, at the from the shortstop position. But it's all different, as he learned and we all learned last spring. It's all different when the games mean something or when they get closer to meaning something. So he'll get some shortstop looks. Probably won't be the guy, but if he can figure it out, that's a game changer. It's really a game changer for Gavin Lux's career, and he knows it. We all know it. If Gavin can play short, he's a big leaguer. That's a fact, Jack. He's a big leaguer. Matty Man 5 Dodge, unless they can transplant Lux's right arm, he ain't going to cut it at short. I will always revert back to what I've said a few times. If David Eckstein, the man with the weakest arm in human history, can play shortstop and win 2 World Series as shortstops for the Angels and for the Cardinals, Lux has enough of an arm. He has enough of an arm, He doesn't have a Corey Seager arm, but he could, in theory, have better range than Corey Seager. But I'm okay. We know the lion's share of starts at shortstop are going to Mookie Betts, so it doesn't really matter. Gavin Lux playing any shortstop would be just to give him something else, give him another look, give him more value. But those are a couple of the topics I wanted to talk about at the top of the show. I do want to get to some voicemails in here, guys. If you have some thoughts about the team, about the offseason, all of that stuff, I'd like you to sound off in the comments below. You'll see the number ticking by at the bottom of the screen, 562-373-4095. We do voicemails on Mondays, sometimes on Thursdays, but if you got enough of an evergreen call, you can call in anytime and we'll play your voicemail right here on the show. So with that, I should get out the old voicemail headphones, because that's what I'm going to call them now. And again, we got a couple calls in here on the voicemail hotline. I didn't name any of these from the callers, so I don't know which is which, but we're going to listen to them. We're going to enjoy them all together, including this one right at the top.
Well, hey, Clint.
Richie.
Happy Monday to you. It was a rough morning for yours truly. When I got up this morning and I bent over to tie my shoe, the shoelace broke. I picked up my briefcase, the handle fell off. I was afraid to go to the bathroom all day, Clint. And later, I got hit with another double whammy. My mom is into all this ancestry stuff, and she looked me, and she's been looking us up in the family tree. She informed me that I'm the sap. But I digress. So what I want for Christmas, it's real simple. I want Teoscar Hernàndez back in the Dodger uniform. I want to see number 37 out there protecting me from all the home runs and the fly balls in Section 303 and Road W seats 1 and 2. That's what I want. I don't know much about being an athlete. If I knew anything about being a Major League Baseball executive, I wouldn't be killing bugs for a living. Athletically, the only thing athletic about me in high school was my athlete's feet. But anyway, not a whole lot going on. I just want Teo for Christmas on top of my 2 front teeth. And that's all I got for you. But if we do get him, I'll be happier than Barry Bonds in a PED store. So fuck this Dodger Stadium parking lot. Fuck Juan Soto. Bring back Teo. Fuck Monday mornings. Fuck Manny Machado. Fuck the Padres. And for the love of God, fuck the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Richie Flores wants a little bit of everything. Absolutely wants a little bit of everything. But we want Teoscar Hernàndez. We need Teoscar back pretty badly. I want to address something in the comments as well. I'm seeing people talking about ads popping up on the stream. So when this show is live, I don't get to control when any sort of ads happen. YouTube does all the ad placement here on the platform, and usually after the show they plug in like 10 or 15 ads. I usually try to limit it to a max of 4 ads for an hour-long show. I am trying to make something of a living off of doing this, so hopefully you guys can bear with the ads. A solution some people have found is paying for the YouTube Premium, because it gets rid of all ads. I love YouTube Premium, but I just want people to know I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to be some money hungry creep throwing in like 87 ads, because that sucks. It makes it not fun. That said, doesn't matter. We're demonetized now because all the F-bombs from Richie there. AB's not a fan of Richie's gimmick, but you know what? I think it's a fun gimmick. I still enjoy it. Appreciate Richie calling in. Let's hear what this one has to say.
Well, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know, and I hope you guys can hear me properly because I'm in a shopping center. But I gotta say, guys, let's all believe in Friedman. He got us to this point. He got us 2 World Series in the past 4 years. We can do this. We can win. And we are all tired of Lux. Believe me, we all hate Lux because of how bad he has performed in the past, and he literally forced Mookie to move to second base. But I'm sure that Friedman knows what he's doing, and it's possible that, yeah, there is a rumor out there that he was shopping for Lux. Well, thing is, it's possible that Devin Williams has something in his medicals that he did not like. We gotta believe in Friedman. He knows what he's doing. So, don't be judging him or Dave Roberts. No more Dave Roberts. Hashtag fire Dave Roberts anymore. At least until he pulls out a pitcher too early and gives up, unfortunately, a loss in the postseason. But other than that, though, guys, like I said, I'm in the shopping center. So blank Juan Soto, blank Manny Machado, blank the Padres, blank the Giants, blank the Dodger parking lot, and for the love of God, blank the Ghost Runner. See ya.
Hey, you know what? That's how you get around it. Now we're not demonetized. Thank you very much, Noah. As you know, blanking it all, blanking blankers. If he's in a shopping center, he should be shopping for Teoscar Hernandez. That's what we'd like to see. People responding in the comments to one of the point that Noah made in the chat. Gary Sharma being busy in this chat. Appreciate Gary. Saying Lux isn't that bad. There's no reason to hate him. He was really good June 15th and through August 31st. He's also been good at different points in his career. Alfonso says bro is shooting blanks. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, blank. Alexander Rose gets it. Blank you, Manny Machado. Blank you right in your blank and blank. Nando 390, Lux is okay. Dodgers just believe he's great. I don't know that they go that far, but they believe he's cheap and a serviceable option here on the 40 man, and they don't have a lot of infielders ripping ready to go. It's funny enough. We're going to talk about this guy in just a second, but I would wonder about still would wonder last year seeing Andre Lipcius get an opportunity with the big league club. Kid had a bat going down at AAA. We're going to talk about him in a second, but yeah, I don't. Great comment. To completely derail my thought there, Progressive Sports Fan says I'd actually trust Clint more than I would LeBron when it comes to roster construction. And thank you, because I wouldn't center the team around me. Because I know I'm old. Dang it. Son of a blank. All right, we got another 2 more voicemails. I haven't seen if anybody else has called in, but we got 2 more voicemails, and then I want to talk about a big ticket item here on the show. But I believe this might be Diane.
Hello, everybody. Diane Schroeder here. Hey, we had a great time yesterday at the meetup at Pomona Valley Mining Company for brunch. And you could join us, too, if you sign up for Discord. It's only $5 a month, and you're supporting an independent channel. Plus, you have access to all the cool peeps. Join us today. And please, Andrew Friedman, bring Teo home, for God's sakes. Okay, I'm outie.
Hey, listen to, the fairy godmother of Dodgers talk here on YouTube. Listen to Diane Schroeder. Sign up, support the show, sign up, join our Discord, and all that kind of stuff. And you could eventually be able to, join us at the meetups, which have been fun. We're going to start doing bigger and better ones in the 2025 season. As Kenny Chung apparently gets another ad. Sorry about that, Kenny. My bad. I got no control, but I got control of the buttons here as we get a $2 super chat from Zip Code 0. Appreciate you, Zip Code, saying Burnes 2 years for 95. Bring him on. That might be a little bit of cheddar. Might be a little bit too much cheddar there. We got one more voicemail, and then we will shift gears, but let's go ahead and listen to, I believe this might be C-Note.
Clint, Matt De La Rosa here.
De La Rosa.
De La Rosa Matt. As you know, longtime watcher, first-time voicemailer. Just really quickly here, everybody should not lose sight of the train that could be coming down the tracks at the end of the 2026 season when that new collective bargaining agreement is coming up. If anything is going to derail this team in the long run, it could be that. A lot of bad can come from that situation. There's a work stoppage because that could be the year where we see a salary cap trying to be instituted by the owners that are not Cohen, Guggenheim, or the Steinbrenners. So everybody keep an eye on that. I know we're all caught up in signing guys to deals. Well, that really could be a massive, massive downer. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's when we lose the Guggenheim group, which is the most important piece of the Dodger franchise right now. And they really do need to get Roki Sasaki, because I am worried that this team could get old quick. Nothing bad to say about the Dodgers parking lot, because I grew up in the Bay Area, and going to Giants games and A's games was a nightmare. So take care, everybody. Bye.
Appreciate Matt De La Rosa, I believe first-time caller. I know long-time listener. Appreciate you hanging out with us in the chat, on the voicemail hotline there, guys. Appreciate you guys. The one thing, really good point. JF says it in the chat as well. Caller, good point. Something I didn't really address there, and it does eventually down the road potentially affect the Dodgers. Talking about that CBA, talking about a possible salary cap or whatever it is. Rob Manfred said today he had an opinion about all the deferrals, mainly from the Dodgers, but saying, quote, the bigger the numbers get, the bigger the concern. I would imagine this is pointed at Shohei Ohtani, but can be problematic. So if Manfred is starting to talk about it, could be an area of concern. I don't think it's going to happen down the road, and I agree with Kenneth Hall. We will never see a salary cap in baseball. I do agree with that fully. I also agree with hitting that gong a bunch of times. My God, my guy, Right Field Pavilion gifts 10 All Dodgers memberships here on the channel. Right Field Pavilion, as always, a god dang, a blanking legend here on the YouTube channel. A bunch of people picked them up, guys. If you just picked up one of those memberships, you do get access to our Discord, so do check it out. You should get information on how to contact me through the email, and I can get you set up on Discord, and you can join the chat. We're talking Dodger baseball just about all day long. Things are a little quiet right now, so there's not as much going on, but you get it. De La Rosa also recently joined us on Discord, and I appreciate everybody hanging out. Definitely appreciate Right Field Pavilion for being amazing at being generous. Awesome person. Shift gears, and it kind of dips back into what we've already talked about, as I'm going to take my headphones off because I don't really need them. We talked about Corbin Burnes, the potential of adding Corbin Burnes, and the Ken Rosenthal thing about maybe short-term deal, high dollar deal could be on the table for Corbin Burnes. I don't think he goes for it, but if he does, that's something that's right up the Dodgers' alley. With that, I ask aloud, is the Dodgers starting rotation good enough as it is? Because they do have some pieces, and we already talked about that, and we talked about Shohei Ohtani will be back, and this is the perfect scenario, all of these pieces. We know they're not. We know Shohei's not going to be available on day one. We know maybe even a month. We know there's going to be injuries. We know there's going to be things that pop up over the course of a season. So I wonder about a Corbin Burnes, addition, or a Walker Buehler. I think you could fit Old Man Kershaw in the mix, but again, is the starting rotation good enough as it is right now? And I got this for everybody. Let's look at all of the pieces. Let's look at all of these options that are currently on the Dodgers 40-man roster, save for Clayton Kershaw. Of course, he's not on that roster yet, but if you're looking there for the potential 6-man rotation, you'll look at that left side. You do see Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, and we've said it a couple of times here on the channel this winter. Tony Gonsolin, don't sleep on Tony Gonsolin. This is a man that was an all-star in 2022 when he was at his healthiest. He is somebody that has some high upside on the bump. He's not a problem in that 5 spot. He's not a problem in that 6 spot once Kershaw joins. Landon Knack is somebody who picked up some big starts for this team over the course of the season. And then again, Dustin May, Bobby Miller, the guy very seldom talked about in the Dodger space, especially on this show. Ben Kasparius is somebody who started most of his professional career so far. Emmett Sheehan will be back from shoulder or from elbow surgery. Nick Frasso will be back from shoulder surgery. Justin Robleski will get another crack at getting some major league innings in 2025. So there are a number of starting options there for your Los Angeles Dodgers. There's also a lot of, if all of those dudes are healthy, and Henry Hughes in the chat saying, what's up with Bobby Miller? His head, his brain, his noggin kind of beating him down. But if he gets right and all those other dudes are healthy, I really like that starting rotation. And if you mix in, a Corbin Burnes edition, that feels like too much. It really feels like too much starting pitching. And it's the one time I think you'll ever hear there is such thing as too much starting pitching. Corbin Burnes might be too much, even with, I'll throw the graphic back up, even with Clayton Kershaw in that mix there. It's a lot of pieces. We know Landon Knack's not truly going to be that number 6 guy. Dustin May is probably going to be a starting pitcher until he's not a starting pitcher. Bobby Miller could very much be something closer to what we saw in his rookie year. So with all of those and understanding that the Dodgers don't, despite popular belief, they don't manufacture money. They don't just print money. They need to start hitting on some of these, this is bad phrasing I'm going to say right now, start hitting on some of these younger dudes. They need to start having some of these the pitching kids, come back up, because there really hasn't been, that I can think off the top of my head, there hasn't been that consistent call up and person that has helped the starting rotation really since Tony Gonsolin for a couple of years, because he came up in 19, was solid in 20, solid in 21, 22, 23 had the injury, was out for the whole year. That's been it. That's really been it. Dustin May has not been a factor. You need to have these guys come up, perform for your team, and stay up. And not cost you $45 million a year, pick up big innings. And maybe that is the Ben Kasparius guy, maybe that is a Justin Robleski, maybe it is a Landon Knack, or maybe it's somebody that's not on that list, Jackson Ferris, who Dodgers picked him up last offseason in the Michael Busch trade. And Jackson Ferris, all signs point to the floor is like a number 4 starter. Cole says we forgot Michael Grove. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got Michael Grove as an option in the bullpen, but if we see Michael Grove starting again, I'm gonna start I'm aiming for kneecaps. I am aiming for kneecaps. You won't see that happening. Now, where we step back and where it's only fair to point out that you want more starting pitching, because there are injuries and there's always going to be injuries. Other names that could have been on that list were, Kyle Hurt, River Ryan, a couple of guys who blew out their elbows this year, now will not be options either in the bullpen or in the starting rotation. They added Blake Snell. They're going to get a healthy, knock on desk, a healthy Tyler Glasnow back. Glasnow just started a throwing program. The latest updates for that. The quote, I think this was from Brandon Gomes, that he's feeling good. Everything they're hearing from their doctors is that he's in a great place. And their expectation is, the team expectation is that it won't be an issue. His elbow won't be an issue for him as he continues to build up. That feels like a lot of hope, this is a dude. Let's be as realistic as possible. Tyler Glasnow cannot start a season on time and end a season fully healthy and not miss time through that entire year. So you do worry. You do have some concern about somebody like Tyler Glasnow. Talking about the other side, the Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. What Brandon Gomes said was you don't know. You really don't know how it plays out coming off of those injuries. And we saw this for most of the season with Walker Buehler as well. He was ass. He was straight up booty. and not a good booty, during the regular season. He figured something out at the very end of the regular season and in the postseason. We saw that, and you could buy into that. You could believe that. But coming off of an injury, Tony Gonsolin hasn't pitched in a major league game since August 2022, something like that, July 2022. Dustin May, I think even longer, hasn't pitched. I think it was 4th of July 2022. What Gomer said, Brandon Gomes says, is like, we don't know how it plays out. It's not always linear. If they come in and they're feeling good, great, let's go. If we need to adjust, we will. And we know we have a lot of options on the other side that can plug into those holes. And that's where we'll go back to this screen. The other options are Emmett Sheehan coming back, Nick Frasso, who we have not seen yet, Justin Robleski an option, Ben Kasparius, Bobby Miller. These are some of those options that if they don't work out, Landon Knack, if those guys don't work out, they are going to be getting some big-time innings, we'll say. Those names will be getting some big-time innings for this Dodgers team over the course of the season. So to the question to this whole segment here, is the Dodgers starting rotation good enough right now? Yes. But there is a big fat asterisk on it, and it's health-based, but you can say that about every team. Even if the team went out and added, brought back Walker Buehler, added Blake Snell or Corbin Burnes to the mix, there's still a big fat asterisk of the maybe. There's the health factor. And for the most part, guys like Corbin Burnes have stayed relatively healthy in his career. You hope he would be good. You hope Blake Snell is going to be good and healthy and froggy. Shohei Ohtani comes back after his latest shoulder injury and surgery, and comes back and he's healthy and an ace like we expect him to be throughout the season. Starts game one of the World Series, all that kind of stuff. Yamamoto, his shoulder is fine, but that's the reality is we don't know. We really don't know. As Gomes said, it's not linear. If they come in, they're feeling good, they stay good, great. If not, you're going to have to pivot. But to end up with another starter, another Corbin Burnes type, might be too much. It's my thought on it. Yeah, you get him if you can, and it's a reasonable deal. But I'll say again, something I said back earlier in the show. At some point, this team needs to stop just spending all the money in the world and let some of these prospects work out. Hopefully it is a Jackson Ferris. Hopefully it is, season 3 for Bobby Miller is a lot better than season 2. But this is a little thing. I wanted to talk about this. Again, to that question, I think the pitching is good enough with a big fat asterisk that everybody needs to be healthy. You're healthy, I take that starting rotation in a heartbeat. I want to know what you guys think about it. Let's jump into the comments here. Nando390 says, bring back that sticky stuff to help the pitchers not get injured so much. I mean, is it the sticky stuff? Is it the pitch clock? Is it guys going out there ripping 100 over and over and over again? Diane says, forget about the prospects. One guy I don't want to forget about, Jackson Ferris. I don't know if the right word to say is like less froggy, which isn't even right. That's not like actual terminology. I'm less high on like a Ben Kasparius as a starting pitcher. I think he needs to be a reliever because the bullpen options aren't as good, especially with like Brusdar out. I would like to see them bring in Tanner Scott or find somebody else to maybe replace even like a Ryan Brazier in that bullpen. I don't want to see them bring back Joe Kelly. But Noah in the chat saying the Bobby Miller show is about to start its 3rd season. If it doesn't succeed, then he is canceled. Well, how come they haven't canceled Gavin Lux? Well, when he's healthy and when he's right in the head, he has been good. Malachi in the chat, good point. I wanted to bring this up earlier in the chat, but I did not. Dodgers did make a signing today. A kid by the name of Matt Sauer. He is, to me, he's a right-handed pitcher. To me, he's just AAA depth. This is me. I looked up the absolute nothing about the kid. He got a cup of coffee with the Royals this year, like an ERA over 7, pushing 8. This is a dude who the highest ceiling maybe is a lights out reliever for this team. More likely, the floor is starting pitching depth. He's going to be one of those one and done type of starter dudes that hopefully for his sake stays at AAA the entirety of the season. But what we're seeing right now with some of these moves, the Matt Sauer move, I haven't talked about David Bode on this channel yet. This is just AAA depth move. That's all they are. If they find a way to get some big league playing time, cool. But this is, sign a minor league deal, invite to camp. If you find a way to play on your roster, onto the big league roster, opening day roster, you did something very, very right. If not, well, you're going to start at AAA, and you probably got an opt-out somewhere in your contract. And maybe David Bode, I was mentioning this on Dodgers territory earlier today. I think he's just going to be 2025's Andre Lipcius. And what's funny enough, I say that somewhere around noon. Later today, I'm seeing tweets that people looked it up, and Andre Lipcius was released. I don't know if it was today or in recent days, but Lipcius released by the Dodgers, most likely. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go and signing a deal with, a KBO team or an NPB team or something like that. But I mean, a lot of us were David Booty. I get it. It's a good comment from EB there. A lot of us were very, very high on Andre Lipcius while Max Muncy was out and injured. You wanted to see what the kid can do at the big league level. They never gave him that shot. David Bode could be that next guy. This dude actually has a longer track record of big league time, not necessarily big league success. But that's what they're doing right now. They're filling out their depth and waiting for Teo, like we all are. What did I see right here? Chilltown All-Star, another name I didn't mix in. I definitely didn't add to that sheet of starting pitching options. Another reason why I wouldn't want this team to bring in Corbin Burnes, and I probably should have said it earlier, but like I said, the whole point is me talking through this together. You guys are just watching a psycho man talk to himself in his bedroom right now. Well, it's not in his bedroom, it's in my office, but still, you get the point. Like, would a Corbin Burnes edition tell Roki Sasaki, like, where am I supposed to play, man? Like, am I going to get an opportunity to pitch at the big league level? Maybe I should go somewhere else so I can actually pitch. Maybe that's too much. Maybe, again, Corbin Burnes is too much. But you get Roki Sasaki, you have a lot of options with that kid. He can start at AAA, you build him up, you get him, acclimated, or you throw him straight into the rotation. You have a lot of options, but we're not there yet. We're not at Roki yet. We're not going to get there for a little bit. Let's see, Young Yi. How about Giovanni Gallegos? He's another one of those dudes. They added a minor league deal, and right there in that same pocket with the Matt Sauer, with David Bode, he is a buy low, high reward type of dude, and he's going to be AAA depth for a little bit. And if he pitches well enough, very much could earn his way into this bullpen because he's been a high leverage reliever at the big league level in the past. You get him in the Dodgers organization. You get anybody in the Dodgers organization, I feel good about their ability to get hurt, but two, their ability to get some strikeouts and get some big time innings and become maybe the next Evan Phillips, maybe the next Alex Vesia, whoever, the next Michael Kopech, the next Anthony Banda. The list goes on and on with what this team can do with random dudes, just like random ass. If you can throw a baseball, they're going to teach you how to do it better. So here's my call to the Dodgers: teach me how to pitch better. But I don't know. That's about it. I didn't want to dive into too many crazy things today. It's just me. I haven't done a just me show in a while. Forgot it can be taxing. So cheers to you all. And my sweet Lord, cheers to the Right Field Pavilion with a $50 super chat. You are an absolute legend. Right Field Pavilion, thank you very much. Merry Christmas, all of that kind of stuff. Says F. Evan Roberts for calling the Dodgers classless pigs. Here's 50 towards the liquor fund. Go Dodgers. Thank you very much, the Right Field Pavilion. My God, you are a legend. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we talked about this on Dodgers territory earlier. Another one from WFAN radio in the New York side. Evan Roberts, we'll call him a radio personality there on that network, talking about. It turns out too, it wasn't the Dodgers specifically auctioning off of this baseball. It was MLB that auctioned off this baseball, and I believe it went that they gave the proceeds to the Dodgers Foundation, even though that's not how it was initially reported. But I think Mark Feinsand confirmed this earlier on the Twitter machine, saying like that's not the case. He says, I've seen a lot of folks criticizing the Dodgers for auctioning the ball Judge dropped in the World Series. For the record, it was an item in MLB's year-in review auction run by the league that appeared on the team's site. Pretty sure LA benefited enough from the play itself. So it's not even the Dodgers. They're not being classless pigs. It's not them saying, hey, F the Yankees more. We got this World Series and we're going to rub it in Aaron Judge's face. But radio, man, these people, you can hear, you can say F the Dodger Stadium parking lot and all this kind of stuff, or even blank Manny Machado. But on radio, you got to work harder for your clicks, for your listens, for that audience. And apparently you got to call the Dodgers classless pigs, or tell John Heyman, have him readdress the whole arson Judge era of his life. So yeah, but again, that's about it. I don't want to dive into too much when there is very little to talk about right now when we're talking about the Dodgers. And I made myself a promise that I wouldn't just sit here and talk about a bunch of Dodgers things when there's nothing going on. I don't want to just be here to drone on for no reason. So I'm going to pin the show here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I appreciate the incredible support from everybody, but especially Right Field Pavilion today on the Super Chats. Right Field Pavilion, one of my favorite spots to sit. I miss the All-You-Can-Eat Pavilion, but one of my favorite people, I don't even know who it is, one of my favorite people in the universe. But all the people who also came out and supported the show at the All Dodgers meetup through the Discord. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I hope you know that. I hope I express that as much as I can. And I appreciate you guys just hanging out here on the show. If you can't, support the show financially, that is fine. You click, you watch, you hang out. Unfortunately, some of you guys have to survive a whole bunch of ads that pop up during the streams. I wish I can control it, but I can't. I could turn them all the way off, but then I'm doing this for free. And hey, dollar daddy's trying to make $1 here. It's Christmas time. But all right, enough bullshit out of me. Thank you to everybody is the point. I love you all, except for some of you. If you guys are looking for that different way to support the show, check out patreon.com/realfrg or click the join button. All of the links are in the description below. Awesome. Richard Appleby just joined Patreon. I appreciate the hell out of you. Awesome people here on the All Dodgers podcast. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. Use that promo code BELIEVE. Shout out to our moderators for doing a kick-ass job in the chat. All good chats must have moderators, and we got some of the best here on the internet. I'll see you guys when there's something good, or we'll be back Thursday talking about more Dodger baseball. I'm Real FRG on the social medias. Give me a follow. What is it? X, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, all of those things. Subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. And that's about it. Okay, bye.